faithfulness is great indeed. He's so much more faithful to us than we are to him. And that is the honest to goodness truth. You know it and I do it too. And it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. Let me share with you something that, for the offertory today that you may never have heard before. It's rarely used at this time, but it is extremely powerful and appropriate. Talk about faithfulness. You know what the tabernacle is? Tabernacle, okay, shortly after Moses and the Hebrews crossed the Red Sea, they set up a tabernacle. That was basically the sanctuary of God. It was surrounded by a fence of tents, and inside that fencing of tents was a structure, a tent structure, obviously, back then. And that was where God resided in there. He resided everywhere, of course, but that's where the presence of God was so beautifully seen by Moses and others there. So the tabernacle is basically a sanctuary. And Moses received instructions from God for the people to support it and build it. Let me just read you a few verses here. This is Exodus chapter 36, and it's verses 1 through 7. Let me read this for you here. It's amazing, amazing. So Bezalel, Oholiab, and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given skill and ability to know how to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary, are to do the work just as the Lord has commanded. Now these are the words of Moses. And then Moses summoned Bezalel and Oholiab. You ought to come to Bible study sometime, because we get into some names and we just call him George when we can't pronounce it. But Oholiab and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given ability and who was willing to come and do the work. They received from Moses all the offerings the Israelites had brought to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary. So what you have here is God has instructed the sanctuary to be built and the people to come and give to support the construction of the sanctuary, the house of the building of God. This is the tabernacle. All right. They received from Moses all the offerings the Israelites had brought to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary, and the people continued to bring free will offerings morning after morning. So all the skilled craftsmen who were doing all the work on the sanctuary left their work and said to Moses, quote, "The people are bringing more than enough for doing the work of the Lord commanded to be done," end quote. Then Moses gave an order, and they sent this word throughout the camp, quote, "No man or woman is to make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary." And so the people were restrained from bringing more, because what they already had was more than enough to do all the work. You get the point? They were giving so much that Moses had to say, "Stop! Stop giving! We have enough." That's passion. Now it says morning after morning they did this. Morning after morning. Just real quick. Why do you think they gave so much morning after morning? So much that Moses had to tell them to stop. Why? Do you think it was because they were commanded to do so, or do you think it was because they couldn't wait to do so? What? Couldn't wait. They didn't come begrudgingly. How often have you heard of a need in the church and the people of God supply so much that the pastor has to say, please, thank you, but stop. What a great moment that would be, wouldn't it? I want to let you all know that you remind me of those generous people who were excited to give to God, to help create, to be a part of God's calling to build the sanctuary. You, through your gifts, are vital in help building the church. And I'm not talking about the structure. We are the church as the community of faith. The structure is very important, don't get me wrong. This is the sanctuary. I just want to tell you that when I read this just yesterday in preparation, I thought, that's Christ United Fellowship right there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to tell you to stop giving. Okay? All right. And anyway, you know something? If the time comes, I certainly will. One last thing. Just please know, the budget is open to anybody who wants to see it. We're open here. You can see all the financials of everything. There's no fat on our budget. We're very careful with what God through you gives to this church for the ministry that we all participate in. So be assured of that. Like I said, it's right there if you want to see it. And thank you. Thank you for being excited to give. And, to God be the glory. Thank you. Amen. If you're able, please stand for the